Hey guys. Oh, wow. Look at all of you. So good to see you. Great seeing all of you on there. Hey, I want to give a shout out, well, to each and every single one of you, but um, wow, great guys. Uh, I yeah, I came downstairs here to the office a little bit early, and I'm looking at the clock, and I've got everything done that I need to do on my prep, and I'm thinking, I can't wait. I can't wait. I got to get on. I'm not going to wait until 7:30. Yeah, it's the 2-year anniversary, uh, of the show. The pod or the My channel has been in existence for about 10 and a half years now. And but then the podcast itself, I started 2 years ago. And hey, Amanda, good to see you. Sandra, Melvin, Gary, Tim. Who else is on here? I know I saw. I sometimes feel like romper room. I'm just so happy to see. Oh, Bobby. Wow. Look at that. All of you. Gary. Great seeing all of you on here. Yes. Hi. Oh, okay. The Daddy 1945. Welcome. Good evening to you. I don't think that I've seen you in here before, so welcome. All right. Well, tell you what. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate it. I'll tell you, I am exhausted. I took extra dosage of my B12, and to give myself an extra boost of energy. But and I rested more today in preparation for this evening, because yesterday I was busy baking as usual. Even though I didn't post it on my Facebook page, I usually post whatever I bake on there, but I didn't. But no, I'm just so happy to see all of you on here. Okay, tell you what, let's just get down to business. Thank you, Gary. Yes, please hit that like button. Make sure you share it also. Share it to all your friends, and hit that subscribe button. Yeah, if you want to comment, and comment, please. Yeah, Sharon, it's my issue is primarily long haul COVID. I had COVID back in October 2019, and it's affected my health, ever since, just, yeah. So I'm not going to get into it. I go for the natural supplements rather than taking medical chemical prescriptions. And I'm fighting it that way with the natural way, letting my body naturally fight this. So we'll see. God is in control. That's all I can say. God is in control. Wow. Your wife has been busy baking cookies and driving you nuts. Yeah, I'll bet. Let's see who else. I know somebody else had mentioned a lot of baking too. Let me scroll back. Yep, a lot of baking going on. 'Tis the season. It is. Tis the season. All right, let's see. Okay. Let me go through these announcements. May 30th, 2026. Thank you, Amanda. At the Patsy Hillman Park in Hiller, PA. That is near Brownsville, Pennsylvania, southwest Pennsylvania. Oh, Sharon. Oh, you're in my prayers. You really are. You're in my prayers. My older sister, she also has fibromyalgia. And, I know. That's rough. That's rough. Oof. God bless you. Yep, you're in my prayers. Yeah, tell you what, before I get into these announcements, why do I, it's like I said, tis the season. If anyone has a prayer request, please comment. You don't have to go into details. You can just type in prayers, please, or silent prayers, prayers for a friend, whatever. But we've got a bunch of prayer warriors on here, as well as people who watch and don't comment, but they're on here, they watch, and there's prayer warriors out there. And, I have a list here. It's a long list. Thank you, Sharon. And prayers for our president. Absolutely. Yes. Prayers for all of our leaders and for wisdom and guidance, strength and protection for all of them. There's a battle in the heavenly, over our heads in the heavenlies. It's a constant battle, between the angels and the demonic, fighting, good against evil. We have to be aware of that. And sometimes, you can tell with all the evil going on in the world today. I mean, really, there's children killing their parents, and just the back and forth. There always has been, of course, younger generation against the older generation, but even so, it's worse because the indoctrination it's worse, because the evil, it's in our schools, it's in our elementary schools, it's in our, even before kids get into the schools, on the television, people put a Game Boy or a PSP, or I have no idea what the latest, greatest game thing is, but there's evil, in the background of that. And kids, children are immersed in just on that. Hey, Patrick, good to see you. So pray for our children. Pray for them. It's hard. It's hard for them. Okay, so again, if anyone has a prayer request, you're welcome to message me privately. And, I'll keep all of you in my prayers, or else just type in here, prayers, please. You don't have to go into detail. That's fine. Our prayer warriors will put you in there, and God answers prayers. I know that for an absolute fact. In my own life, God has answered my prayers, and sometimes it took many, many, many years. Sometimes God says, He answers your prayers by saying, wait. Sometimes He says yes, and sometimes He says no. My experience most of the time has been wait. 2 Timothy 3, 1 through 5, yes. Yep, 2 Timothy 3, 1 through 5. And I wish I knew that off by heart, but I don't. But yes, pray. His will. Thank you. Thy will be done. Whenever I pray, I not only say amen, but I say thy will be done. Because it is, it's not my will. It's not what I want. I want a lot of things. But it's God's will be done. That's what will happen. And whatever His will is, it's to the good. No matter what. His will, the way that He answers prayers is, it's so much better than what our plan would be. The results are just, sometimes will blow your mind. Okay, Sharon. Yeah, it tells us about the critical times we're in and how people are behaving. Yeah, it's worth reading. But that's the way it's the times that we're in. And so people just pray. If you're not into... Hey, Michael. Yeah, if you're not into prayer, think good thoughts. But know that it's simple. It is so simple. It's thy will be done. Jesus loves you. Like the old song, Jesus loves you. This I know. For the Bible tells me so. But not only that, it's what's happened in my own life. What God has done in my own life. Okay, thank you, Gary. Yep, great news. God is going to put it all right and rid us of the evil one, yes. No matter what, it will all come out. And at the end, there'll be a gigantic battle, and Jesus will get rid of the evil one, throw him into the pit, and okay. Thank you, Gary. Yeah, I know I guess there's some weird stuff going on. YouTube is putting out 2 streams on most channels. Yeah, sometimes I can set this up with 2 streams, but this one, I don't think I set it up as 2 streams, although one I think is only orientation. Excuse me, I think it's not really 2 streams that I set it up. It's just orientation. Horizontal, which is where you see the picture long ways, or vertical, where you can watch it, where it's more screen friendly on your smartphone. Okay, thank you. One is landscape, the other one is phone. Thank you. So, all right. Okay. May 30th in Hiller, Pennsylvania. Let me get a drink. Hiller, Hiller, Pennsylvania, at the Patsy Hillman Park. There will be a Fred Saluga Memorial Bigfoot Festival. I don't know if it'll be exactly named that, but it will be in memory of Fred Saluga, who recently passed away. Again, that's a festival, a Bigfoot festival in honor of Fred Saluga at the Patsy Hillman Park in Hiller, Pennsylvania, Saturday, May 30th. So mark that in your calendar, and if you can make it, please come on up. That's in Fayette County, Pennsylvania, and yes, it is a very squatchy area. I'm originally from Fayette County, and what Fred humorously used to call Fayette Nam, part of the Appalachian area. Ooh, okay, and let's see what else is going on. June 12th through the 14th, 2026 is the Forest County Bigfoot Festival. That is in Marionville, Pennsylvania. I have no idea. I have not been invited to speak yet. If I am, I will let you know, in which case I will be going. If I am not invited to speak, I will not be there. Their vendor, the period for vendors is closed, so they don't have any more room for vendors. So we'll see. I'll let you know if I'm invited to speak. I was last year, but unfortunately I wasn't feeling well enough to go to speak last year, and so unfortunately I couldn't go. Okay, there will be various memorial events held throughout 2026 to honor Fred Saluga. Michael, yeah, that's right. Yeah, let me highlight that. Yeah. Yeah, Fayette, and yeah, that's Fayette County is named after a French general, I think he was, who during the French and Indian Wars, and he, I guess it was a popular name, or else he traveled around quite a bit. But Lafayette. But the name stuck, but only for Fayette. Let me see. January, I didn't write it down, or did I? Yes. January 31st, at Ryder's Restaurant. That's Ryders Restaurant in New Wilmington, Pennsylvania, at 3 p.m. Bill Rigby and myself will be hosting a Fred Saluga Memorial Dinner. Bigfoot Project is a co-sponsor, along with Agents of the Unexplained. And so this is only one of the memorial events going on in 2026. I know that Brian Seach and his wife Terry and a few others, they are planning another event, but there's no date yet, and nothing has been announced yet. As soon as I find out, I will announce that also. I know that, well, there's one place I'm hoping that it's held at a state park over in West Virginia, that I spoke at one of the events that he had hosted a few years ago, and I enjoyed it there. Wish I would have been able to camp during the time, but I wasn't. But it's a nice state park, so I'm hoping it's going to be held there. If not, again, I'll let you guys know, whoever is interested. Boone County Cryptids, welcome. And let's see, right now that's all my announcements. So that's the end of the show. No, just kidding. What's going on with you guys? What do you want to talk about? I know that there's, I'm hoping that, again, that I am invited to speak at the Forest County Bigfoot Festival. I keep going through my mind, different things that I want to talk about, that I want to do as my presentation, or at any other event that I may be invited to speak at. So many things I really should write these down, because I think of them as I'm falling asleep, and I'm planning through everything that I say, oh yeah, this is great. I have to look up the information, so I'll have some good key details, and then next morning I forget it. So yeah, I should keep a notebook next to my bed. I really should. So I know it's a common thing to, some people keep a notebook next to your bed for different reasons, if you have fascinating dreams, if you have significant dreams, usually is the reason why. And that whenever you wake up, people write them down, and sometimes they are prophetic dreams. So, anyone in here, does anyone in here keep a notebook or a notepad or anything next to your bed, and you write down your dreams? Oh, Melvin, you're going to Gettysburg on Saturday. Oh, to see the Christmas show. Fantastic. Nice. That should be fun. I really want to get well, it's been years since I've been to Gettysburg. I love it there. Fantastic area. It's beautiful. I love the history. I'm just fascinated by the history. And let me see. I want to get back to Lancaster, though, also. I want to go back to the Sight and Sound Theater because let me see. What is it? Noah? I think Noah is playing right now. And so I would love to. I saw it before, years ago, but I'd love to get in there. And anyone else, if you are into a production, a Christian, it's a musical production. It's huge with amazing effects. I highly suggest checking into the Sight and Sound Theater in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And you usually have to schedule it months ahead of time because they are booked out. It's a huge, huge theater, and it's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Getting a little pricey, but it's amazing to see. And there's, of course, all the restaurants, all the smorgasbords and buffets, the Amish buffets in the area. Hey, I'm all for the food. Love the Amish food. Home cooking, love it. Yeah, that's just me. Yeah, Melvin, it is Sight and Sound Theater. It's fantastic. There's also a theater out in Ohio that I heard about. Pyro. Okay, you've seen all their shows too. You caught David a couple of weeks ago. Oh, fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah. Man, my goodness. Love it. Now, I'm trying to think, don't they've got another theater in Branson, I think. I think that's, where did you see it, Pyro? Yeah, I'm thinking it was in Branson. I'm not certain, but yeah, it's I highly advise, go ahead and watch it. Get on the website and book book a couple tickets for yourself and your loved one. And Moses was fantastic. Let me see. And Noah was very good. And let me think here. I can't remember what all I've seen. Okay, Branson, Missouri. I thought so. There is another theater where they put on a Christian musical production also. The theater is not as big, not as elaborate as the one at the Sight and Sound Theater. But it gets very good reviews also. It's over, I think, near Sugar Creek, Ohio, in the Amish area. So, again, you have a lot of different other things to see in the area, things to see and do. Let me see. I know I saved it in my, okay, let me see. Where did I save that? No, wasn't there. But I tell you, they updated my iPhone and changed tabs. Okay, that's not it. Not it. No, that's not it. Okay. Chrome, perhaps. Ooh, oh, here it is. Okay. Nope. God, I've got so many things saved. Is that it? No, I guess not. Oh, well. If I see it, I'll share it online on my Facebook page. The shizzle. Hey, Merry Christmas. See, now this is what I forgot to do after, all this talk, here I Merry Christmas, everyone. Just, hey, Patty, I just noticed you on there. Michael. And yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. Aw. Thank you, Dishizzle. Robert, good to see you. Long time no see. See, I know I'm bouncing around all over the place like I usually do. Yeah, I think I had asked about dreams. If you have a notebook that you keep next to your bed and where you write down your dreams or you write down thoughts, as soon as you wake up, you write down these notes in your notebook because you want to remember them. Or they may be prophetic dreams. Has anyone had any prophetic dreams or prophetic events where you may have dreamt something or something happened that it happened, if not the exact same way that it happened in your dream, but similar enough that it was, where it tells you that, wow, I dreamt that all the time, the shizzle. Yeah, it's happened to me a few times. I can't say all the time, a few times and often enough that it's, it's like, wow. It's not just deja vu, but but a dream. Okay, and it's not always good things. Yeah, I agree. Same with me. Melvin, same with you. When you do, it comes for real. Do you write down your dreams? Do you keep a notebook? Or, because there's a gentleman, his name is Mark Taylor. He is a retired firefighter. And back in the, what was it, 2011, 2008, I think is whenever it started for him. He was having these dreams, some very, very disturbing dreams, where it felt like he was getting attacked. And, by Satan. And for him, it was frightening. It was terrifying. He had retired because he had injured his back. And so, there were other things going on in his life because of that. But he kept having these recurring dreams. And then all of a sudden, he started dreaming about Donald Trump. Yeah, and this was back in 2008, I think is whenever it started. In 2011, he dreamt of Donald Trump becoming president. And, he wrote down, all of his dreams. He kept notes, detailed notes, and he still does. And he prayed about them because it seemed that he was being attacked on a spiritual level in different ways. And so he went to his pastor, he and his wife, and they prayed about it and got onto a prayer chain. And the dreams still come. He writes them down. In fact, he has a website. And doggone, I can't remember it, but his name is Mark Taylor. He appears every so often on podcasts, not very often. It's been a few years. Yeah, it's, I usually don't write mine down either. But, the ones that do come true, they seem to feel different, different from a regular dream. Most of the time, my regular dreams, they're disjointed and bounce all over the place and they're just crazy. Yeah. Yep. It happened to me what was it? Day before yesterday. I kept feeling, I need to call this person. And then it just became more and more insistent till finally, felt like pressure, in my head, I got to call this person, got to call him. And so I called them. It came up, going to the voicemail, and then it popped up, they were calling me back. So I took their call and they said, "Your ears must have been burning because I was just talking about you." Yeah, I know, Michael. Yeah. Yeah, dishes will, it's sad whenever you put it off too much. And it's sad, so whenever you get those feelings, to call someone, and I advise it to, to anyone, call them. If their name pops in there in your head and you start thinking, boy, I really should call this person, call them. Call them. I know another instance, that happened. Oh, and this was, goodness, maybe 30 years ago or so. I was visiting, my daughter and I, we were visiting my sister and her daughter and my mother and a bunch of other friends. I traveled down to Fayette County to where they were living. And, we were all visiting, and then the kid, my sister and my mother and I were saying, oh, let's go for a car ride. And the kids were saying, no, we don't want to go. Can we stay here and play? And they were old enough. They were in their early teens, old enough. Yeah, safe area, safe enough. Yeah, they can stay as long as they stayed, close to home. And so we took off. And went over the line. We were down in West Virginia. I'm trying to remember where we were. We were, I think, on the other side of Morgantown. And all of a sudden, I kept thinking, I got to call home, or I got to call, got to call my daughter. I got to call. I have to call. And this was before cell phones. And it just kept more and more, the pressure, and it's hard to explain, but it is, at least for me, it's pressure, in my head. I have to do whatever it is that, it's the Holy Spirit maybe, was telling me, got to call my daughter. And so, I told my mother and my sister, I said, I got to call my daughter. And so we, they were wondering what the heck. And so, we found a payphone, ran over to the payphone, and threw in my dime or quarter or whatever it was that the payphone cost. And my niece answered the phone, and she said, oh, thank God you called. She said, there was a fire in the garage, but it's out. Everybody's safe. No problem. But there was a fire. And she said, and she said, why did you call? And I said, well, I knew I had to call. And that's what it was. Everybody was fine. Everybody was safe. But for me, I didn't call collect. That's right. I happen to have enough change. But yeah, for me, I have to give the Holy Spirit credit, for this, for whenever that happens. For me, I think it's the urgings of the Holy Spirit to whatever it is that you need me to do, tell me. And sometimes you got to tell me loud and clear, and make me trip over it, but tell me. And he does. He tells me, and all I can do is do what he tells me to do. God's grace and his will. Yes, his will be done. I know this show has, so far we're not even talking about any cryptids. We're not talking about Bigfoot. But I whenever if you read in the description, I put in there, talk about anything, talk about cryptids, talk about Bigfoot, talk about UFOs, the Bible, biblical prophecy, angels, whatever. Sometimes we talk about gardening and cooking. I know, and other times, yeah, my husband and I will be riding in the truck somewhere or sitting watching TV, and I get a thought in my head, and I tell him, and he said, sometimes you scare me. I was just thinking about that. Okay. So many things at play. Like ancestors and more. Yeah, genetics. Some things are passed down in families. My dad and my grandfather, they both would have dreams that came true. Yeah, beyond them, I have no idea. My dad was born in the early 1900s, early 1900s. I'm not going to say the date because there's different things going on. Flat Rock, hey, good to see you. And my grandfather, he was born in 1878. That's one of my grandfathers on my dad's side. Okay, you speak to loved ones that are lost, and they reply in different ways. I don't know, sometimes I'll say, Daddy, I wish I could share different things with you, especially the Bigfoot stuff. I know my dad would have enjoyed this. He would have jumped in with both feet. He's the one who, he talked to me a little bit about the Bigfoot, although he didn't call them Bigfoot. He talked to me a little bit about the hairy man or the wild man. But this was just very, very little whenever we lived on the farm when I was a kid. Okay. You even met your grandmother who died right before you were born. Oh, wow. Wow. What a gift. I think that I've shared a special story about my dad. I think that I've shared that on here before. If not, then I think this is a time to share it. My dad, there was a little bit of chaos going on whenever he passed away. And yeah, my sister stayed with him full time, and then to give her a break on the weekends after work, I would drive back to Fayette County and stay in and give her a break and watch over him. Now he was dying. He was bedbound. He was dying, and One instance happened maybe a few months before he passed. Um, I tried to stay up, whenever, because in the middle of the night, if he needed to go to the bathroom or something, I would get up and help him. But, the one night I fell asleep, I was exhausted and I was in a deep sleep. And I felt something patting me on the head, and really it was insistently patting me harder and harder, enough that it was moving my head as it was patting me. And I woke up and looked in the doorway. I could see a silhouette of a person standing there. And I felt, your dad needs you. And then I heard the bell that we had given my dad to ring whenever he needed help. Apparently, oh, wait a minute, no. He was calling me because he had fallen out of bed. And I looked up and, here's this silhouette of a man standing in the doorway. It wasn't my dad. It was someone else. And then, I looked again and it was gone. And I got up and, of course, helped my dad. And then a few months later, after my dad passed, we were at my sister's house. We had a bunch of my dad's belongings there at my sister's house, and some boxes of things, and we were getting ready for his funeral. And we had told everyone, don't wear black, wear bright colors in celebration, celebrate his entrance into heaven. He's going into glory. It's a celebration. And so, I was putting on this, basically it was like an Easter dress. So it was, bright colors, some flowers, a cream colored dress with flowers. And there were some coppery brown tones in the design of the dress. And so I had a necklace that had some copper on it. And, I'm thinking, oh, I wish I had a copper bracelet, to match this. And then just as I thought that, a box fell over, and here comes, rolling out on the floor, a copper bracelet. Rolled over and stopped a foot in front of me. And, I looked up and I said, thank you, Daddy. What a blessing. What a blessing that was. It took him a year, to go through his illness and decline. And all I can tell you is that period of time, it was hard, but it was a blessing that if you're able to do it, with a family member, with one of your parents, grab onto it and think of it as a blessing. Take that time and cherish it. Encourage them to share their memories and the family stories, because these are stories that you can pass down to your children. And, again, it's a precious blessing time. And that's how I think of, that entire year. And it was, I was blessed to have that year. But yeah, he passed in my arms. I watched the light fade from his eyes, and as he took his last breath. Yeah, that at that period of time, he walked in the glory. He walked in the glory. This was in 1999, whenever he passed. It's been a while, but I was close. I was very close to my dad. You did the same thing for your dad. Yeah. What a precious gift that is, to be able to have that. Oh, he had a big smile on his face when he left his last breath. Well, he was probably seeing something glorious. He most likely was seeing something glorious. And like the song says, I can only imagine. And whenever that song came out, if you know the song I'm talking about, it's called Imagine. I can only imagine when that day comes, when I'm standing in the sun. Will I dance for you, Jesus? Will I fall to my knees? Will I sing? Yeah, you'll never take that back. We can only imagine, what it was that they're seeing. Yeah, you're right, Melvin. It makes you stronger. Cremation or burial? To me, well, I'm practical. Cremation is cheaper. Burials, they are so expensive, thousands of dollars. And cremations, they are getting more expensive also. To me, it doesn't matter, because that's just a shell. Your soul it's either in glory, or else it's somewhere else. But the body by that time, it's just a shell. It's whatever you can afford. You spend the money on, I know what we did. We had a memorial dinner, with friends and family, and everyone got together, and we had a happy time, talking about, sharing memories and family stories, and it was a joyous time, with family. Whereas burials, to me, a viewing in a funeral home, and this is only my opinion, it's barbaric. I honestly can't stand it. It's something that I wouldn't want anyone to have with me. I don't want a viewing. No. My soul's up in, in glory. I'm dancing with Jesus. I'm singing with the angels. Yeah, I don't want to be looked at. Heck no, and people stumbling and feeling awkward and children crying because they're scared because here's this body. No, it's barbaric. I can't, that's just my opinion. I just have memories of whenever I was little and going to my grandmother's funeral, and I dearly loved my grandmother, and having to go to her funeral. And no, I don't want to put a child through that. Can't stand it, as an adult. I want to remember family or friends, as in beautiful times, whenever they're at their peak, during the fun times. And rather than my last memory of them is of a body laying in a casket. No. Yeah, place for loved ones to visit and honor. Yeah. Yeah, if you have a plot, or even a memorial stone, in your yard. We do that also. Spread their ashes, in a place that they loved, that they had a special memory of, and put a memorial stone somewhere, or plant a tree or a bush. Whenever I go to a funeral, instead of sending just flowers, what I do is, I try to send a something living, a plant, or I've even sent a tree, because I knew that the loved ones lived somewhere, and they planted trees, to remember family. And that's what I do, to plant something living that'll be there, that'll grow and be beautiful. Like a flowering bush or a rose bush, or magnolia tree, or whatever. Something that, every time you see that tree or that bush, you think, special memory of that person that you planted, that in memory of. Spread your dad's ashes along the river at his request. That's beautiful. Yep, that's beautiful. Trying to think what else. I'm just blank right now. Yeah, he'll always be there. That's right, Melvin. Whenever you go to that spot on the river, that'll be his spot, his special area, along the river. So whatever special memories that you have of him at that spot, that's what you will remember. Like it was especially scenic, or he always, that was his fishing hole right at that spot. He'll always be there. Yes, he'll always be there. Hello, Catherine. Thank you. Anybody ever have a near-death experience and or an out-of-body experience? For me, no. Not yet. Yeah, not yet. Yeah, anyone else? Yeah. Has anyone else had any special experiences like what we've been talking about, or near-death experience or out-of-body experience, special dreams that came true, or experiences like that where you dreamt something the night before, or had a feeling, and something happened. Yeah, very different look on things after either one, I'll bet. That would be a very, Catherine, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me write this down. Okay. Will do. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone else, if you're a prayer warrior, put Catherine's daughter on your prayer list, please. Oh, God bless you. Absolutely. You'll be watching 4 of the 5 grandbabies for a couple of days. Yeah, God bless you. No, again, it's a blessing. That's all you got to do. It's a blessing to have that time. I know it's frustrating and stressful, but this is time to tell them the old stories, the old family stories. Tell them about some of your adventures. Spoiling, yeah. Okay, Gary, both. Close to 10. The shizzle. Oh, my. Wow. Yeah, that's, wow. Yeah, something like that, it's, I've heard about it, I've read about it, and, uh, frightening, I'll bet frightening experience. Yeah, it's supposed to, well, maybe think of it the opposite way, this shizzle. You are supposed to be alive. This is something that God wanted you to go through, and use those experiences to learn whatever it is that He wants you to learn. Yeah, yeah. God is the only reason you're alive. Yeah, Catherine. Oh, that will be. Yes. Those old photos. Oh my goodness. I know I'm lucky that my daughter loves to go through our old photos. And so I enjoy those times too, because, I have a lot of my dad's, with my dad's and my mom's old photos. And so, going through those, with her, it's always it's a blessing. It's a time that's precious. And that's how you got to think of it. It's a precious time that you have to take advantage of with them. Your mom always, to this day, calls you her miracle baby. Uh, all you can think of is that God has a purpose. God has a purpose for you. And so that's what you need to pray for, is what is it that He wants you to do? How does He want you to lead your life for His glory? And your first one was at birth. Oof. God has a plan, both you and for Gary. Um, Melvin. Um, yeah, it's, what does God have planned, and how can you use this experience, or these experiences, for His glory? And so that's how, I go through life. Whenever things happen, how can I use this for His glory? It's not me, it's not me, it's Him. God wants us all to let our light shine and spread his word. Yes, Gary. Absolutely. You know, that I remember, who was it? Which one of the apostles? It may have been Paul. That he kept spreading the word of God. You know, he was in prison, and he kept preaching to the other prisoners and to the guards, and some of the guards got so irritated at him that they cut out his tongue. And so he was determined, he could still write. He used it, and he wrote that even if he can't speak, he wants people, if this is how God wants it, just just have people look at him and see the face of God, that they see God's love shining through him, that it's not him, that it's God. Catherine, yes, sing those little songs. Yep. Oh, kids love to sing. I know my granddaughter, she would sing Itsy Bitsy Spider forever, for hours. Yeah, stay positive. Yes, stay positive. Always, always. Let's see. And Patty, personally, no. But other people in here may have other beliefs, and that's they can chime in. Personally, I don't. Yeah, singing it's great for everyone. I know, I love it. I love music. My sister and I, we used to sing in duets, since we were kids. We would sing in church, sing these little duets, or whenever company would come, my dad would have us stand up and sing for people. It was funny, thinking back on it. I used to sing in the choir, and my sister, she used to sing solos in different churches. She would travel around. Yes, people would come around and sing Christmas carols. Yes. I live way out in the country, so nobody comes around here to sing Christmas carols. But yeah, I remember whenever I was singing in the choir, we would go out around the local town and sing Christmas carols. Yeah, sing the psalms to them. Okay, Patty, do you believe in ghosts or spirits, or have you seen one? Yes. Yes to both. I have, although I don't know about really seeing one, I've heard one walking around and doing different things. And yes, we lived in a haunted house. A couple of the homes, the old houses that I used to live in were haunted. And as to what they are, it's, I don't know. Could be demonic, could be just a leftover memory imprinted on the area. I don't know. That's one of the questions that God will answer maybe, whenever I stand before Him, during eternity. Catherine, it doesn't matter if you, if if you can't sing, you sing a joyful noise. Sing songs of joy. It doesn't say be good at it. That's right, Gary. Doesn't matter. Make a joyful noise. Melvin, let's see. I want to wish a very, very Merry Christmas to all of our family. May our special day be humble and blessed for you and your loved one. Good night, all. Jesus is our King. Stay safe and God bless. Thank you, Melvin. God bless you. And thank you for joining us. I appreciate you coming in. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Okay, the shizzle, Patty, the shizzle says some are residual, some are different somehow. Yeah, I don't know. You're asking the hard questions. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah, we want the questions. Gary, you sound like a bullfrog, but you still love to sing. Well, good. My husband cannot hold a tune, but every so often, whenever Barry White comes on the radio, he'll sing along with it. And to me, he sounds better than Barry White. As off tune as he is, that's just to me, though. My personal opinion. What's Lou getting for Christmas? Well, he may be watching, so I can't say. Shh. Little Romance is nice. Yes, it is. I love my husband very, very much. I've always said that he is a blessing. God blessed me very much whenever he brought us together. Gary, we will have to get you up there with Dale and Belly next time. Yeah, Dale Boswell. Oh my goodness, yes. Dale and I did a little duet in during the infamous ride across the bean field in Joe Parker's pickup truck. Um, we were singing a duet. I can't remember what the heck we were singing, but Dale wrote a song. So you'll have to go, if you haven't heard it yet, go on the Dale Boswell's YouTube channel. He wrote a song and made a video about our infamous ride across the bean field. It was holy crap. Oh, you saw that? Yeah. It was fun, unexpected, and unfortunately, it was my suggestion to Joe Parker. And around Joe Parker, I really should know better, because my maiden name is the same. My maiden name is Parker, and we can be ornery. And so I should have known better than to make the suggestion to Joe to cut across the bean field during the race. And so he did. But yeah, I suggest that if you haven't heard that song yet, go on the Dale Boswell's YouTube channel and look up the song about the can't remember what it's called, but it'll include something. Butterbean field is what he called it, something like that. Energy doesn't die, and our souls are entirely energy. There's actually a proven study that proves the body gets lighter when our spirit leaves it. I have seen that. It's amazing. That is amazing. There's some, what is that, Robert Heinlein that says something about magic. Magic and science. I'm going to have to look that up. Hold on a second. Talk amongst yourselves, okay? Oh, okay. Not Heinlein. Arthur C. Clarke. Clarke's third law. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And I quote this fairly often in Bigfoot research. Because a lot of people, they look at the things that Bigfoot do as being magic, as being just amazingly supernatural. And I remember this, because it comes from my training as the daughter of a magician. My dad was a magician, and so you have to think about, it's not magic, it's actually science. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. So guys, remember that, whenever you are Bigfooting and you hear, the different stories about Bigfoot. Dale has a lot of good songs on his channel. Yes, he does. Okay, Patty, you had to get Ron a heated hoodie of need for one. It's been so bitter cold and he works outside. Yeah. Yeah. I know I always thought about getting Lou one of those heated vests. I've never seen a heated hoodie. But Lou is retired now, so he works outside, clearing the snow, unfortunately, out of the driveway, but bad enough. Any mention of pushing down the skinny pedal in that song? I don't remember, Robert. I honestly don't. I think that's why we can have out-of-body experiences, because our bodies are vessels. Sometimes you can spill something and put it back in the glass or container. Other times you cannot, for instance. That's also why there are ghosts, I believe, around the battlefields and other places due to untimely nature of departure. Some may just have unfinished business or have to retry because they were meant to get something right. They did not. These are just things that I think, for opinion, does not mean it's right, does not mean it's wrong, but a lot of times it makes sense to you, at least. Yeah, I agree. It makes sense, and we don't know. Truly don't know. Oh, okay, Catherine, thank you for joining us. And yes, most definitely, I will keep your daughter in prayer for her surgery tomorrow, as well as you and her husband, for babysitting. God bless you, and Merry Christmas. Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Let's see. Yeah, dishes. So yeah, we don't know. Like you said, it's opinion, because we don't know. We can only theorize. Catherine, thank you. Have fun. That's all I can say is have fun with the kiddos, and you and your hubby, and have fun sharing those old photos and singing songs. Merry Christmas to you. Let's see. Yeah, it's like a lot that goes on with Bigfoot. It's opinion only. We can only theorize as to what's going on. Patty. One more year and retirement for Ron. You're quitting too. No more cooking, no more cleaning. The place is going to go to heck. Yeah, right. I don't believe that, not for 1 second. Yeah, I had retired first back in 2014, and because I wasn't happy how things were going where I was working at, and I had the opportunity, and I figured, there's temp agencies, if I need some extra money, I'll work for a temp agency for a while. And that's what I did for a while. Did different things through a temp agency. It was fun, interesting, learned different things and met different people. And it also gave me time for putting into, after everything that was going on at my house with the Bigfoot, I figured, okay, now, I'm retired. I can spend time actually digging into this and talking to other people. And, because all I had was my own theory. I really wasn't talking to other people because I had no idea that there were other people who were going through this, but I was learning on my own the behavior of this thing, as what he was doing and what his motives were, and so on and so forth. Yeah, opinion based from observation and experiences. Yeah. I took that time, I grabbed that time to really jump in deep. And that's whenever I first discovered, Kumbo and the Bigfoot Outlaws. And that's whenever I was able to, confirm, what I was learning, okay, yes, they validated what it was that I was learning and experiencing. And I was able to bounce off, ideas off of them, and learned a lot. Learned a lot from them. That was a great time. Whenever the Bigfoot Outlaws were still active. Pioneers, not hardly, Patty. Not hardly, there's ones out here who've really, they are the true pioneers. I'm just someone who loves to walk through the woods and happen to have a few experiences with a hairy guy. And I'm happy to pass along what I learn, and that's what I want to do, and if there's something that I've learned, that I think that you guys need to know or would help other people, oh heck, I'm happy to pass it along. Just like what I just read from Arthur C. Clarke, that quote. For me, that's something important. Arthur C. Clarke, he was a science fiction writer. And if you remember the movie I, Robot, he wrote the book. And he has different laws that he wrote. And this is his third law. And let me repeat this because, again, this is something important that I think Bigfooters need to kind of stick in your brain. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And this kind of goes along with UFOs also. You know, it's not, you know, it's science, not magic. It's science. It may be the science of biology, the science of physiology, the way the body moves, and be the science of behavior. It's a science, and that's how I think of this. And in my mind, I break it down because that's just the way that I was trained. You know, again, you know, my dad was a magician, and so people would, you know, he would do his magic tricks, and you know, people would look at him and wonder, and you know, it's like, oh, ooh, ah, you know, it's magic, you know. But for me, you know, I knew the technique of how the trick went. I knew misdirection. I knew the different things done in order to achieve the final product. It's a science. You know, so whenever you study Bigfoot, break it down. You know, it's behavior, biology, the physiology, and think of it that way. Think of it that way. And yeah, there's some mysterious things that they do that that are quite amazing, believe me. But again, I have to think, all right, it's not magic. There is a science there, maybe way beyond us, that we just haven't learned yet, but it's a science that is happening. Knowledge keeps us safer, but we also have to be observant and aware of our surroundings. Absolutely, yes, because there are many dangers, not just one. Yes, that's another thing that I preach, is situational awareness. Always be aware of your surroundings. Stay alert. Be observant. Bigfoot Outlaws. Picture a motorcycle gang with Bigfoot patches, leather vests, and tattoos. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, as far as I know, they do still have a Facebook group. I've long since left it. There were just different things going on. So I left their Facebook group. You know, I have high respect for everyone there. You know, they helped me quite a bit. Kumbo and I remain friends. A lot of the, you know, other outlaws, you know, I'm still friends with. It's just unfortunate that there was kind of a difference, you know, personalities and so on. And unfortunately, it happens. It happens. And, you know, drama, and it's going on this day with other parts of both UFOs and Bigfoot world and so on and so forth. I think they're still outlaws. They are not they were never really an organization. It's more like, a bunch of friends who called themselves the Bigfoot Outlaws. It's just right now it's just the Facebook group, Bigfoot Outlaws. And their YouTube channel is Bigfoot Crossroads. Yeah, so I highly recommend getting on their YouTube channel and listening to them. Dishes, well, don't worry about it. I'm not hardly a grammar Nazi. And I know how talk to text and what do they call that? Fat finger syndrome. Whenever you're typing on the keyboard and nope. Don't worry about it. Yeah, things we will learn when we are ready. Yep. Yep, that's right. Well, guys, it feels like my voice is starting to wear, and I'm getting tired. Yeah, Bigfoot Crossroads is the name of their YouTube channel. Bigfoot Crossroads. And yeah, I am on one of their episodes from, let me think, what year was that? I think it was their 1-year anniversary of the return of their podcast. Can't remember what year that was offhand. A few years ago. I think it was my very, very first appearance on a podcast at all. So I was very nervous. And it showed. But, I was honored to be on there. And it was nice. Good people. Well, guys, I think I'm going to shut this down. I want to thank you for joining me on our second anniversary show. This has been fun, talking about different things. We kind of ranged all around there, as the different conversations kind of passed through, which was great. It's fun. I enjoy this. And I hope that you enjoyed it also. And I am honestly not certain if I will have a show before the end of the year. I truly don't know. I've got company for the holidays, and which kind of is tiring me out also. So I don't know if I'll have the energy to get on again, but I want to thank you. Thank you so much. And my prayers go out for all of you. And, for the prayer requests that were sent to me, most definitely you were on the list. And even those who asked me a few years ago, you're still on my list. And Gary, I want to thank you. I want everyone to applaud thank Gary for everything that he does. He is dedicated. I mean, I cannot appreciate Gary, what he does. I truly appreciate so much him coming in and, really boosting the show and reminding everyone to, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and get in here and comment, say hi. But thank you. But again, thank you. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to all, and to all good night. Thank you. If you want, send me a message on Messenger, get on the group on Facebook, and we can talk. You can ask any question you want. But we will end it here. Thank you. God bless. Merry Christmas. And Monkey Wench out.